You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a Rumi-inspired hypnosis session to really feel that you have permission to be a priority in your life. That when you answer the question, who matters most, it's completely fine to say that you do. Now, Rumi is an ancient philosophical voice, very popular in the world of spirituality and poetry and self-development because they have so much wisdom in their words. And I would encourage you to check out anything by Rumi. If you go on Google Images, you're going to see lots of quotes. If you go on YouTube, you're going to see, again, lots of snippets and clips about how words are still very resonant and relevant today, hundreds of years after they've been around. So check that out. This takes some of Rumi's teachings and principles and fuses it into a hypnosis session designed to empower an individual to feel worthy, to feel that they're making the right kind of progress in the areas that they wanted to, and to feel that they have permission to live life on their terms, not under the shadow of anyone else. They get to live life on their terms. So if any of these ideas resonate with you, I think you'll get some value from this. It's very metaphorical, very broad. It's not so specific. The one thing that might be specific to the client that might not be quite relevant for you is that they had a particular relationship with pain that they were changing through pain medication. That might not be relevant, but lots of things are just very broad, very empowering, essentially to make you feel empowered and worthy to live life on your terms and pursue whatever your dreams are. So if that connects, then get a nice, quiet, comfortable place, the kind of place where no one's going to distract you. Relax and enjoy this session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, long, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful feeling of release, as if anything that needs to be released is being released. Every outward breath exhales what you don't need. And as you breathe in, imagine breathing in a feeling of wonderful relaxation and resourcefulness, enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. Allow your brain to take you to that place, the place you've been to many times, where words seem to have a harmony with neural pathways, so that words cast spells to create changes, wonderful changes that enhance, evolve, and amplify. And as you breathe in, you may notice that the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe. And I wonder if you can harness all of that power in your imagination to imagine what it would be like, perhaps in the not too distant future, on a spring or early summer's day, to be leaving a cabin in the mountains under blue skies and sunshine, pure fresh air, and just imagine what it would feel like to be walking with a dog on a mountainside. Get a sense of the sunshine on your skin, the freshness, the coolness of the air. Get a sense of the sheer scale of your surroundings. You can see for miles. Landscape, valleys, nature, and maybe the sound of birds or insects or something else around you. And as you walk, find that rhythm. And with that rhythm, allow your breathing to synchronize with that rhythm. Slow, deliberate, ever more relaxing. That's it. And you know from previous experience that it's possible to daydream while you walk in nature, that your mind does the thinking for you. So as you breathe in and out there by the mountains, allow your body to really connect with that feeling of calm relaxation. And in this moment, give yourself permission to rest inside that place of calm tranquility. As you breathe in, notice the simple miracle of air and oxygen arriving without effort. And as you breathe out, feel the gentle release of any pressure, expectation, any echoes of pain or strain. And that mind of yours, the one that's been working so hard, processing pain, adjusting chemistry, those overthinking that can happen at nighttime. I want you to feel that it's doing its absolute best under changing or challenging conditions. Your brain hasn't failed. It's learning, adapting, and that adaptation takes energy. But for now, there on the mountains, give permission for that mind, the controlling or overthinking mind, to take a step back or to loosen its grip like hands that have been clenched for too long, slowly remembering how to open again. And just imagine with every breath out, the feeling of a fried brain becomes more and more calibrated, settled, and aligned. Not switched off, but just cooled, clarified, and gently recalibrated. And I wonder if you could imagine discovering a quiet, open space there on that mountainside. And that open space is not a place of answers, but a place of questions. And you deep down already know that the right question can change everything. And I want you to imagine, almost like it's written into the air, as if carried by the light itself, is one profound question. Imagine it written there in the air. Who matters most? And you don't need to rush to answer it. Just sit with that question. Who matters most? Who matters most when energy is limited? Who matters most when sleep feels like it's fragmented? Who matters most when challenging situations or change is on the horizon? And who matters most when the entire nervous system or sense of identity is finding a new rhythm, a new pattern, a new thread or theme? Who matters most when your body is healing and relearning safety? And as that question gently turns within you, something deep and calm responds. And maybe it's simply two words. I do. Who matters most? I do. Not in an arrogant way, and not in a defensive way, but in a really true, authentic, genuine way. You matter most. And I want you to feel that as truth that is landing. And when it does, you may feel a subtle shift, like a throne quietly reclaiming its rightful occupant. Because when you fully accept that you matter most, it unlocks a whole new level of identity, an identity where you are the one in charge, with full autonomy, full agency. No more arguing your case, and no more justifying your needs. Meeting your needs is no longer negotiable. It's foundational. And there in that open space on the mountain, I want you to imagine meeting Rumi. And maybe it's the very energy of Rumi, the essence of Rumi. Perhaps even a representation of everything they are and stand for. And I want you to imagine that somehow you are tuning into their frequency, a way of being that blends depth with lightness, wisdom with warmth, stillness with joy. Just like tuning into a radio station on an old radio, imagine tuning into the frequency of Rumi. Not his words, but his way. And knowing that life is vast, mysterious, and yet playful. A trust that the soul already understands the way forward. And as you tune in to this frequency, maybe you notice your posture subtly changing, Your breathing becoming more spacious. Your presence becoming warmer. And there is charisma here. Not the loud kind. The natural, quiet kind that draws people in without trying. Some people call it a magnetic personality. And there is wisdom here, not forced, not performative, but lived wisdom. And connect with that charisma and wisdom. Because your charisma and wisdom were never missing or never suppressed. What if they were always there but simply underappreciated? Especially by you. And what if now you get to reclaim them as your rightful belongings? And as you claim them as yours, you embody that frequency. Like somehow you and Rumi are now connected, existing on the same frequency, albeit at different places in space and time. But in the fourth dimension, that doesn't matter. Imagine yourself as kindred spirits in that fourth dimensional plane. And as your body continues to relax, notice a growing sense of safety, not outside you, but within you. And you can feel secure in your own company, at home in yourself. Your self-trust doesn't need evidence anymore. It doesn't need reassurance. Your self-trust simply is. Your intuition is trusted. Your choices are trusted. Your unconscious is trusted. And there is no internal cross-examination. No second-guessing tribunal. You are unapologetic. And at the same time, simple, honest, and true. With no need to push. And no need to retreat. You simply stand. And from this place, even challenges feel different. And when life throws something your way, you take it on the chin and keep moving forward with enthusiasm, with curiosity, with a golden retriever energy, resilient, optimistic, engaged with life again. And as you harness this wisdom, this charisma, this frequency, unleashing this self-trust, notice your energy returning. Not all at once, but in a sustainable, intelligent way. The kind of energy that respects healing. The kind that grows as trust grows. Your sleep begins to reorganize itself naturally. Not perfectly and not rigidly, but rhythmically. Your nervous system learns that it's safe to sleep longer, that you're safe to rest deeply, that it's safe to repair. And you don't need to make this happen. Your unconscious will do it for you. Your unconscious knows how to heal. to recalibrate, to refine, to adapt, to adjust. And just imagine there on the side of that mountain in that open space, I want you to see a present, gift wrapped. Imagine feeling like a small child opening a present on Christmas or a birthday. And when you open it, you realize that it's not something tangible. And it's not something like productivity or approval, not endurance or even discipline. The most precious gift is simply being alive. When you're alive, you do have autonomy. You do have agency. You can make choices, decisions, learn new things and do new things. And with that golden retriever, childlike energy, connect to a feeling that you intend to make the most of that most precious gift, that miracle of life. And get a sense of a vision of your future. Maybe a future where you're living somewhere new. Maybe months from now, maybe years from now. But see yourself living as someone who knows who matters most. Notice how you move through your days, the clarity in your decisions, the ease in your boundaries. And you prioritize yourself without guilt. And you replenish without apology. And you see all of that joy and fun and connection returning in small, ordinary moments. And that joy feels valuable, precious, profound. Observe that future version of you where you trust yourself completely, not by attempting to trust yourself. That is the default state. Self-trust is just how you are. And as you observe this future version of you, take a moment to let that identity settle in. This is not something you become someday. It's something that you are evolving into now. It's a privilege of a lifetime to be your full, authentic self and remind yourself that you're doing great. You really are. And just imagine returning to a cabin and seeing a bed. And imagine putting your head on a pillow, putting the covers over your body. And very soon I will count from 1 to 10. If your unconscious would like you to awake, when I count from 1 to 10, you will awake. But if your unconscious would like you to drift into a deep, rejuvenating sleep, then as I count from 1 to 10, the numbers will drift you deeper into that sleep state, where your unconscious and your intuition will do any work, any changes, any refinements that are necessary to take your life in exactly the right direction, to amplify that identity, an identity where you live your life on your terms and nobody else's. Your unconscious knows whether it's time to awake or drift into that deep sleep. So let's start to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.